Okay, I was going to do a video on benefits otherwise of a 1.7 HMR, and I'll do that later, but went out the other night and had a bit of an episode. I blazed away and was missing a bit more than what I normally do, which sort of worried me a bit. Then I had a bit of trouble getting the eye relief right when I was shooting, and then I come to the realisation that there was something wrong with the mounts on the scope. I put a new scope on it recently, to suck in a bit more light in the evenings and stuff. And put a riser on it, and the riser had come loose for some reason. And I've since rectified that by replacing it, but heard all this video footage of me blazing away and missing. I thought rather than waste it, it's a good opportunity to post a few videos of, or a few shots of me missing, and to see the reaction of the game to a 1.7 HMR that's suppressed. Now I put a suppressor on it. The suppressor I've got on it's one off a AR-15 I had that I had bought back off me by the government. So I kept the suppressor off it and yeah, got it fitted to the 1.7 HMR. And to put the later shooting into perspective, these are not tame rabbits or ones that have never been shot before. I've been out a week or so earlier and knocked off about 25 of them from the same position in the space of about 20 minutes, so they'd had a couple of good shoot-ups. But it's just interesting to see the reaction of the game. You almost had to stick a bullet through their ears to get them to move. And I've seen this before with the 223, when it was suppressed shooting at ears and stuff, that often they were more confused than frightened. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to have a look at this, I think. And if you're thinking of maybe do I need a suppressor on my rimfire or my rabbit gun or my pig gun or whatever, maybe something to consider. I've tended to shy away from suppressors on my big centrefires. I work on the principle that, you know, if I'm only using it for recreational hunting, I'm probably going to pack up and go home after my first shot because I'm such a good shot. But yeah, but when you're actually trying to knock off as many animals as you can, I think the suppressor overall is a bit of a benefit. Obviously it's not going to kill the sound of a 1.7 HMR because it's got quite a mean little crack. But it certainly, number one, you don't have to wear earmuffs, and number two, yeah, it's interesting the reaction of the game to it. Yeah. The position I was shooting from was about probably about 120 metres away from the closest game. And while it took me so long to realise that there was something wrong with my gun, was I actually managed to, out of about the 25 shots I fired, I managed to actually hit a couple, one at 140 and one about 200 metres. I'm not sure why that is, because when I actually tried out the gun afterwards on a target, 25 metres, I couldn't even hit a target about that big. So maybe it just proves the old adage that even a broken clock's right twice a day, because I hit 2 rabbits and I fired about 25 shots. So yeah, who knows. Anyhow, look at this video, some of this video footage, and it might be useful to you.
Turned the cast at the wrong time. Managed to get 3 of them. Just a total of 4, I think. One got away into the trees over there, but so I'll shoot from up top of that rise over there, which is between 100 and 140 metres, which is furthest away. And it didn't see it on there. I hit the back leg. I don't know how they managed that. Maybe it went to the full length. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of damage was done after I've peeled them.
Just to sum up, there's a couple of things that, a bit of advice I'll give you on using suppressors. I've used them for years for things like goat hunting and that kind of thing, and small game hunting. But first thing I'd say is don't buy a cheap suppressor, especially on a centre fire or that kind of thing. Because a good suppressor will actually enhance the accuracy of your rifle. I think it must be having a bit of weight on the end or something. Whereas a poor suppressor will make it shoot all over the place. This one here that I use, and I've used a 30 caliber one the same as a modular one. So you have the back half, which is the common part for all rifles, and you have a bush that's machined to the size of your barrel. And you can screw off the front parts and put whatever size baffles you want on it. I've got 22 baffles on this one, and it seems to work alright for the 178 MR. Probably not the best, but it doesn't affect the accuracy at all, and you can add as many baffles in as you want. Just keep piling them on top of each other. Yeah, it seems to work pretty good. This one came off my AR-15 before I sold it back. Yeah. And the other thing I'd say, a tip for using a suppressor is give yourself a bit more room. So instead of being 50-60 metres back from where the animal comes out, or you're expecting to see him, maybe position yourself 120 metres away to take full advantage of what the suppressor can do. Yeah.